Of Zion Amud Beis, and we started the parak yesterday. Of Zion Amud Beis, the bottom line. We did the whole parak Shnayis, and now we do all the Gemara. Just halach in the Mishnah was, which that's all we're going to we do the first. The first halachas in the Mishnah had to do with sotah, and the first one was the same way the water checked her, it also checks him. But now we're going to go into the Gemara. That's what there was the Mishnah over here. This was that it's more of a kiva, and Rabbi said that just because it says Nitma, so that's what the Gemara is going to analyze now. First of all, yesterday I think Rabbi Yaakov had a different shot in the Mishnah, which I said is wrong, but really the Gemara is going to analyze what the Mishnah means. It says the same way that it checks him, her, it also checks him. So who's the him? So the boy. Right, that's the maskana, that's what I said yesterday. But the Gemara takes it slow. Also the man, who's him? Maybe means the husband. What would mean it checks the husband? That if the husband never was Mazana, so it's going to check him also. That if he gives her the water to drink, she drinks the water, and it checks her if she was Mazana, but it's also checking the husband if he was Mazana. What did the husband do? There are more things at this point that he didn't do anything wrong. The boil is the one who's the suspect. The husband didn't do anything, but he might say maybe it has to do if he was ever Mazana. Top of the page, if he has a sin, it's also going to be both him. So the Pashut Pshat of the Gemara and the Pashut Pshat means that if he was ever Mazana in his lifetime, nothing to do with this particular case that he did. But Rashi brings down over here that it means if he had relations with his wife after she became a sotah, which is also going to be true. But the Choretz is a little astray what Rashi says, because it's much simpler to say what the Gemara is going to say later on in Zion. And Rashi over there himself says that if he ever has no, it's also both him. If he was Mazana with a woman once upon a time,
it's a different way from that if he did his nose and he was zintzatachat ishto as the my mamari law did.
It has nothing to do with ishto. A man could have relations with have 2 wives, 10 wives. So it's nothing about tachas ishto. It means to say he's Mazana with a woman who's married.
The woman. So then at that point,
and the Gemara says later on, even if you also. So here it says. So what are you saying? What happens?
That doesn't then the marim doesn't work.
Oh, so you're right, but you're jumping. You're good, but that's going to be in 2 more lines, and that's what the Gemara is going to ask. If you learn the Mishnah means that when she drinks, it's both her and it's both him. So Chaim Dov says it's not true because it's not both nobody. Because if he was Mazana, so it's not going to work for her either. If we're reading the Mishnah the same way as both her, it's both him, and you want to say if he was Mazana, so it's going to be both him also. He's going to get punished when she drinks. It's not true. It doesn't work with anybody. That's what the Gemara says. If you want to say the Yisbei one Bat Kilei Maya, that if he have a sin, so it's going to check him and he's going to get punished for his nose. That's not true. Yisbei Avon b'didei mika bati la Maya l'dida. If he's in, then to get off. That if as it was and she's going to die, so the husband shouldn't feel guilty that he killed his wife because the man is sin. He's going to carry her sin, but the water works first. If the man so then the water is not going to investigate his food. You can't read a mission like that. Then it's not bothing. If he has any sin, it's not bothing. It says the same way that what is bothing her, is bothing him. So your initial reaction was that it means that. And I said, no, it means the boy. So the Gemara is going through that now. The Gemara first thinks you're upshot.
No, I thought it meant the blow. He's going to blow up too. And you said, are you corrected?
Okay, we can listen to the tape to see what happened yesterday.
We can check,
but it's okay.
Wait, so does it mean we thought it meant?
I said that it means the boil, and the Gemara is going to be in a maskana in a second. But the Gemara does have a havamina that means the husband. If the husband ever sins, then it's going to be both Maybe he didn't say that, but first,
Okay, where is this?
we're on
The beginning?
Ches Amud Aleph, top of the page.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
started
from
the
the
bottom line.
we did the whole Mishnah, right?
Yeah, we started, the Gemara thinks that the Mishnah also the husband, but the Gemara says it can't be. If he sinned, then it's not voting anybody. It's not voting the wife either. So here the Gemara, the upshot is when she drinks. But it doesn't sound like that. Listening to the Tani Samshir Asur about Asur Boil, the Gemara, the wording of the Mishnah. It says, you want to say that also meal, but when he calls him the boil, how can and then it says the same way that it's also to the husband, it's also to the boil. It should have been consistent. If it's both of them are talking about the boil, it should have said twice. Kishem Shabot boil. And then it says Kishem Shasur the boil. Why does the Mishnah change the terminology if it means the boil? The Gemara answers, La'olam le-boel. The Gemara is going to stick to Maskana that it means the boil. It does mean the boil.
Oh.
And when she drinks, the guilty suspect is going to blow up wherever he is, the same way she does. So why doesn't it change? Why does it change the terminology? Why does it say oso? Why doesn't it say boil? The Resha, I did the Tana oso, Tani oso. Seifa, I did the Tana bal, Tani boil. It's nicer for the wording of the Mishnah. The way they talk, the style of the Mishnah is nicer because when it wants to say it says him. When it says husband, it says boel. But also Baal boel. The Mishnah in the beginning of the Mishnah says her. It doesn't. It says the word her. So then it says him. In contrast, when the same way it's voting her, it's voting him. And it's the boel. It's the boel. But the reason why he says him is because that's what we're testing her and him. Then it says Baal. So then it's nicer to say boel. Both of them rhyme. Also Baal boel. That's a nicer way to talk.
Oh, because it's
stylistic.
remember.
Yeah, nicer way to talk. It's a nicer style. So it does mean boil both times. When it says then it's voting her, it's voting the boil also. And on the contrary, if the husband ever sinned, then the boil is not going to work for anybody. Nothing's going to happen.
The husband did sin.
If the husband did sin, then it's not going to work for
It's
anybody.
not going to work for anybody.
And if he did not sin, then it's going to work. And who's going to work for us? It's going to investigate both the woman and change the wording because it's nicer to say. And then the next Mishnah says that if she's a suffix sotah, she's also to the husband, she's also to the boil. And then use the word boil because boil, that's a nice way to talk.
But yesterday, didn't we say that we're making a comparison between the wife and the husband?
As far as what? You're in the parak before. You're in the previous parak. The wife and husband.
Oh, that wasn't this pair?
That was the parak before that said that if
She has to have hands.
yeah, that's the previous parak.
Oh, that was not this. Oh, I see. Okay. So they got confused.
Okay, we go further. It says in the Mishnah, Shenema ubo. That's the way it says in the Mishnah. The Gemara is going to question if that's the right girsa. So let me try to put on over here the psukim. Where the psukim? All that comes up on the screen for those that are on Zoom also. So here the psukim over here. I just it says the word ubo 3 times. Here it is ubo. And we're going to talk about all the later.
Looks like above before at each time.
Each time, and that's above each time.
Yeah.
So the question is, when the Mishnah says that we're going to darshan, that it investigates not only the woman, it also investigates the oil. He's going to be checked out, and he's going to be punished if he was
But if it goes on,
So it says the Mishnah says a drasha. How do you know that it inspects the boil also? Because it says ubo. So the 2 ways to understand the Mishnah, and the question is of the Mishnah. What does it mean? It could be that there's an extra vav. It happens to be 3 times, but that's not the point. The fact that it's even 1. So extra vav is going to be room for it. How many times ago? We'll talk about it. But the point is that has extra vav. Or maybe the Mishnah means because it says 2 times. It even says 3 times. But the drasha might be because it says 2 times that it has extra word. So that's how you learn out that it also inspects the boil. So the Gemara wants to know how it goes in the Mishnah. If you just uvo, that means that 2 times the word uvo. If you just uvo, that means to say that it said bo and it said uvo and the drasha from the bo. So that's the Gemara's question. What do we mean to say? Iboilu.
There's an afkamina and how you dress.
Above. Are you?
The word. The other way you're darshaning the whole word.
It's one way is darshaning the whole word. One way is darshaning only the above. If it's a I darshaning above, you darshan above is above darshanable. When that's extra above, may you darshan it, make a new drash out of it. So there's going to be a machokas coming up. Do you darshan above or not? So here the Gemara wants to know, what does the Mishnah mean? How do you read the Mishnah? Doesn't say bo, that it could have said bo, and it says uvo, and according to that, the whole drasha is from the extra, whole drasha is from the extra bo, or uvo come out, that it says two times the word uvo. What does the Mishnah mean to say? The halacha is, the more saying the halacha is the halacha, but the question is what the drasha is. The Mishnah says the drasha also. Does the Mishnah mean to say that it's extra bo, or does the Mishnah mean to say that that's extra word? Is it an extra letter or is it an extra word? Nice question. Everyone's happy with the question?
But are we going to learn a
The
different
halacha-
thing if it's
no,
an extra letter?
Maybe we'll be obligated to search for another direction. First, what does the Mishnah mean? What does the Mishnah say? It says in halacha, the Mishnah says, just to go back to the beginning to the Mishnah, here we go. We go back, beginning of the Mishnah. Here it is. Kishem, Shamayim Bot Kinoso, Kachamayim Bot Kinoso, Shenemar, Uvo. Here in the Girsa, the Mishnah, the printer had to do something, but the Gemara is not Shia.
Oh, but you could say the vav at the second one is only to including one bow and another bow. It's not like they come together. It's like with the little round circle. You think it's a quote. It's not a quote. It's a quote of two words. One uvo and another bow. The end is to add.
I'll say it again. I'm not sure if we're saying the same. One choice is that it says the word uvo twice.
Right.
That's what it seems to say. Uvo. It says the word uvo twice. And if you want to see the pasuk, here's the. It says uvo. It says uvo. It says it times if you want. Word uvo three times.
There's no one positive. There's two positive.
It doesn't say uvo. The shorter doesn't say in it consecutively. It says uvo. It says uvo twice. So that we're not talking like that. It says two times. It says one time, but that one time it has an extra bo. It could have said bo, and it says uvo. If you erase this bo, the Mishnah would say shenemar bo uvo. Not that it says words. It says one word uvo, and word has an extra bo. So that for drasha like that. And we'll see in this what the Mishnah says over here. It says, okay, we'll see in a second. Yes. Then it's the wrong gear. It says, what's the gears in the Mishnah? Is the girsa ba'u uva'u, or is the girsa uva'u uva'u? If it says the way it says it over here, it means that it says two times the word uva'u.
Right.
If
Which is the first and third.
the other part, what?
This is the first and third time. In the first
No, all three.
all three.
I mean, it says the more interested in the verse that it says it. This is room for drush. You want to know why? We'll talk about it. But it's more, the mission would say that even one yidusha, because it has an extra letter. It could have said you down. You with the rest of the Mishnah. Let's see as we go on. We have to know how to darshan in order to be able to know.
Can you remind what the three, those were the first two psukim? Is there a difference?
It doesn't make a difference what the Pasuk are. It says the vote twice. It says the vote three times. The extra vote. We don't know all the psukim. We could, but it's not so relevant to know the Gemara at this point. You want to know
It just
dafka?
means that the waters are going to check her.
Waters go
No, don't
Just
go.
like it checks
These
for-
yeah. Drasha now. The drasha checks him also. True.
Checks him also. And we want to know if we're getting it because there's a second word or because there's an extra bow.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Why not excited?
Uh-huh.
Why are you not enthusiastic?
Dancing.
You're saying it's so perfect. You should be enthusiastic.
Because what difference does it make?
How do you dash it above? You see above the top. You say, what's the above doing here? It must be for a drasha. Well, you don't get excited about above. Let's see more. After we finish, you'll be enthusiastic. It's shame.
Oh.
You're shame. You're not enthusiastic.
I
We'll
thought
do it again.
because I thought the second word was going to show. Now we know because there's two words that we know that he's also going to.
And that's one.
But above, then what are you doing with above? This word is an
If you,
extra
no,
above.
if you don't, if you knew that, so that means above wouldn't
How
have
come
come.
another and I say and so he didn't hold by that? Well,
Tashma.
The answer to the-
It's like we're asking a global question from this specific.
Does this Mishnah mean in the global outlook, does this Mishnah hold the darshan of or not?
Okay, I didn't know.
I had a Rebbe, Randall Kaplan, he said, I don't know if I'm going to get the word for saying the right shot, but I want to get schad, I make people happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. It tells grandson. I feel read that.
Tashma, Keshem Shasur Lebal, Kachasur Lebal, Shenama Nitma V'Nitma. So we'll continue the Mishnah. We read the Mishnah. We read the Mishnah. Back to the Mishnah. It is the next one. She's also to her husband. If she's a suffix sotah, she's also to the suffix boil. That the suspect, after she gets divorced from her husband, she's not allowed to marry the boil. And how do you know? Shenama Nitma V'Nitma. What do you say about that?
Seems like we're darshaning above,
How can you think so?
because the first one said nitma.
It happens to say only one time the word V'Nitma. We could jump to the
Right,
psukim a second.
right. So the fact
Just
that it
that-
says nitma, which isn't.
Yeah,
the way
but no, that wouldn't be a draft. Let's see. We're looking at the pasuk just to I highlighted it in light blue, and I have 6 times altogether. But we're only
Make that a little
concentrating.
bigger.
Well, that's the way we,
Yeah,
that's
we'll
the way
do it bigger.
we said it yesterday. We said nitma. Why does it say vinit?
I said that way. That's what I explained it. I'm right, but I only got it after the
Doesn't
Gemara.
that show that we darshan?
Yes, but now who says I'm the right shot? I said that is the book, and I even made it. I said V'Nitma, V'Nitma. I made the green
What
over
does
there.
agree mean?
That the vav is the point.
The vav is the
V'Nitma,
point.
but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's because it says the word nitma, then it
Right.
says again v'nitma. It wouldn't write v'nitma twice because it doesn't say v'nitma twice. If you look at all of them, it says nitma, 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 nitma. Right there it is. So maybe the Gemara means to say that it says 2 words. Maybe it means because 2 words. That's why we're going to dash it twice.
Vinit.
But
I see.
the idea shot is because it has the extra vav. But we'll see right away. That's what that means. That she's a boy, so it says no, be sure. Nitma. He also agrees that Allah.
Just because of the double word.
So Nazak is going on. He's the one who says it says the times, but the first Rasha of Akiva said because it says above. So you have a Mishnah over here that the machlokes. If you darshan vav or not, Rabbi Akiva darshan the vav. Rabbi did not darshan vav. This is an extra word. And now you go back to the beginning of the Mishnah. To be Akiva. So it must be that it's darshan the vav. Because Akiva darshans the vav. You see the Gemara continues. Well, I did the wrong thing. Back to the Gemara. Iboilu. Does the Mishnah have a vav one, bo, uvo, and the drash is from the vav? Vav, okay, I didn't let me do that. Oh, uvo, come up because it has the word again. Tashma, kishem shasur lebal kachasur lebol shenaman nitma v'nitma. So you see that it's the vav. The Mishnah holds the darshan the vav. So too, the Mishnah should be bo, uvo, because this time it holds the darshan the vav. But the Mishnah said you're right. But 19 boy, even over there also, maybe the Mishnah means because it says the word twice. Nitma v'nitma kama. Oh, nitma v'nitma kama. Okay, it's a little difficult over here, but it means, does it mean because of the vav, or does it mean because of the extra word? Maybe the Mishnah they also mean a word. There's no Rebbe says so. I'm telling you, say for Rebbe, your Mishnah parsha v'nitma mistake because it only says v'nitma once. It says 2 words. It says bresh, shtei pamim, more in the parsha. It says 2 times the word. Echad labal v'echad labol. Mechlal, Rabbi Akiva vav v'kadosh. So we see that Rebbe does not darshan vav. Rabbi Akiva does darshan vav. So the beginning of the Mishnah that Rabbi Akiva is talking. So surely it's darshan the vav. So the Gemara comes out. Rabbi Akiva holds the darshan the vav, and therefore bo uvo. That's how you know also that it's both him also, and then nitma v'nitma is going to teach you that it's also also to the boel. And Rebbe holds you only darshan, you don't darshan the vav, and you need 2 words in order to darshan. Now the Gemara sums it. That's good. That should be a thing in itself. So we got the right shot in the Mishnah, and in the Mishnah take out the vav. It shouldn't say uvo. It should say bo uvo, and then it says nitma v'nitma. The darshan is the vav. Rebbe says for the second rasha, he doesn't tell you I know it's the first rasha. It's the second rasha he knows because it says 2 times the word 2 times. Good. And now the Gemara sums it up, and now it opens up that
What
it's
is
real.
the second Rasha? What's the learning from the second Rasha?
What do you mean to say?
Well,
Nitma v'nitma.
Both
That's
him and her, right?
That's going to tell you that it's also to the bowl, also to the bowl also. That she's not allowed to marry the suspect.
So there's 2 learnings. One is the extra verb. One is the extra word, and the second one is the extra verb.
No.
No.
Yeah, but Kiva holds there 2 extra verbs, and one is going to, the ubo was the extra verb, vinitma is the extra verb, and Yidash is the first one is to tell you that the suspect that the boil is also going to be exploded. And the second one is to tell you that she's also to the boil. She's not allowed to marry him. If she doesn't drink, she chooses not to drink, she chooses to get divorced, and she wants to marry the boil, she's not allowed to. She can't marry the boil. She's also to the boil also.
So now he does all this.
But keep the darshan's vav, right? And Rebbe does not darshan vav. And the second drasha he learns from the fact that it says 2 times the word nitma. The whole word says twice, not because the letter is not enough. You can't darshan the letter, you have to darshan the word. And that's the second drasha he tells you because it says nitma twice. And now the Gemara sums it up. Now it comes out that now we're going to darshan now the ubos. So as we showed on the screen, that it says the word ubo 3 times. They're in whatever, brown. Ubo amayim amor ma'ela, the water will come into, this is the curse. He tells her the water is going to come to you to Lasmos Petem, Lapinyo Reich, it's going to make you die. And then it says that he gives her to drink. And the water, this is the story that I narrated, that he gives her to drink and it should come into her. It comes into her. And then the pasuk at the end says, and if she was defiled, then it's going to come into her and she's going to die. That's the 3 times that it says ubo. So how many drushes are you allowed to darshan from these 3 times that it says ubo? So Rebbe has three words. He doesn't darshan letters. So he has 3. Rabbi Kiva has the vav. It says 3 times vav. He's going to have 6 drushes.
Why do you mean he's going to have to?
Because there's a vav over there. What do you do with the vav? Rabbi Kiva says a vav.
Oh, you mean 3 for the words
and 3 for the vavs. So that's
okay.
That's how the Gemara goes now. According to Rabbi Kiva, there are 6 things you have to learn out. And according to Rebbe, you're only going to have 3 things to learn out. And here's the Gemara. Hilkach. Rabbi Akiva. What would you like?
I want a picture. Is that the whole?
Well, it's going to be more, and if you want the whole thing, I guess a little smaller, but.
I wanted the quote.
The beginning of the art scroll.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So you can't-
Beginning
I
of
put it in there.
you want to, which one do you want?
I'll put it
The-
in. No, I wanted the
The psukim.
They're right there. in the scroll, the first
sorry,
page.
I was thinking about it.
fine.
Okay, that's the vowels over here. Okay. And tomorrow. So Rabbi Kiva has 6 things to darshan, and Rabbi has 3. Because Rabbi darshans, Rabbi doesn't. Hilkach Rabbi Kiva, Shita, you got 6 psukim, because there's uvo 3 times with a vav. And what are you going to learn out? Everyone's going to say there's Sava, Asiya, and Yediyah. And Rabbi's also going to say things. Sava, Asiya, and Yediyah. I'll explain right away. But according to Rabbi Akiva, you have each time for him and for her. That is a double because it's referring both to the suspect also is going to blow up. We're talking about now uvo. That's the first Russia that tells you that he's also going to be voting him. Is also voting the ball. He's also going to die. So there are 3 times that it says it. The real order should be the opposite. Yediyah, Sava, Asiya. Yediyah means, I'll just go in the order of the chronological order. Yediyah means that he tells her. The Kohen tells her that this was going to happen. That's the curse. He's telling her. Yiten Hashem Osach. If you look in the pasuk over here, the first one is the Yediyah. When it says here in the yellow glue brown over here, this is what the Kohen is telling her. This is all the words we had it before a couple of pages ago. We highlighted it in yellow to say that's what he tells her. But it is now highlighting the within the yellow that Hashem should give you. He's talking. The Kohen tells her that Hashem should make you for a curse among your nation, and when Hashem is going to make your thigh is going to fall and your abdomen is going to blow up, is going to bloat, and the water should come. These waters should come into your intestines to bloat your abdomen and to fall your thigh. So that is the idea. That's called what's idea. The third thing that's informing her. This is what's going to happen. And then the next one is going to be the tzava, that the Kohen should do it. The Kohen, then the pasuk says the Kohen should give her to drink, and the water should come into her. That's the commandment. That's the second of all. And the third one is the asiya, that if she's tameh, then the water is going to come in and it's going to kill her. That's the third. The first one is idea. Second one is tzava. The third one is asiya. That's going to happen.
The order in the Gemara is opposite.
Right. The Gemara says tzava, asiya, and idea, but idea is the first pasuk.
And then which is the second? Tzava.
Asiya was the middle.
So it's just the
and according to Akiva, that says above each time to tell you it's going to happen to the man also. There's going to be this is going to inform that happens to the man also, and it's a commandment the Kohen should do it, then it's going to come to the man, and it happens. It's going to happen to the man. That's over. And everybody's going to say the same thing, but it's not going to happen to the man each time. He's going to say there's a Yediyah, Tzava, and Asiya, and it doesn't say about the man because it doesn't darshan devo. That's what the Gemara says. So Rabbi Akiva has 6, 1 for the Tzava for her and Tzava for him, Chad l'Asiya for her and the Asiya for him, Chad l'Yediyah, Ida, v'Chad l'Yediyah Didei. the tzava for both, for him, for her, and for him, the asiyah for her and for him, and the idea for her and for him, and the order, I don't know why it's the wrong order, I should say idea first. Okay, that's good. Rebbe only has three because he doesn't dash in the book. Rebbe plus a kroik sivi, chad l'tzava, chad l'asiyah, chad l'idea, and it doesn't say about him, it just says about her.
Does Rebbe, doesn't he hold that he'll?
Oh, beautiful. The Rebbe, Kishem Shemayim, yes, Chaim.
No, what is it?
That does Rebbe not hold that he also is going to be checked? Does Rebbe deny? He doesn't have a vote. He doesn't have a vote. And also he used all the three psukim all for her. You have him. Kishem Shemayim both can osakach, both can osaman. How does he? It's the thing that happens to the man also, the suspect, not the suspect, the guilty suspect is also going to be punished. The answer is nafkalim b'detanya las bos beten v'lamtil yareh. So we'll jump to the pasuk a second. The pasuk says also a couple of times that it's going to happen. That the point about the abdomen getting bloated up. Yeah, that's maybe I didn't point it out, but here it is. One of them. It says Hashem yisrechei fellas. You should and the waters. The water's going to come here. That's what's going to happen. Maybe I should let's all to it. That's most better than right? And again, it says later on that it's going to. Where is that? That's by the what do we call this? But it says 2 times. I'm sorry, the idea. Anyway, it says it. The one it goes the first time. Let's talk about it. But here it says it the second time. Here, there's 1, 2.
Let's both is to what
to bloat.
Blow up.
And he tells you that's what's going to happen. If you're guilty, then it's going to come into you and it's going to bloat your stomach. And then it says later on that if she's guilty, that's what's going to happen. And it says by Ashka Esamayim. And if she's tamei, if she's really Bazan, come in and it's going to tamei. And so Rebbe says this pasuk tells you that it happens to him also. This pasuk, last was better, but Rebbe says that happens to him also.
Is that both or something?
No, but Beten doesn't say her or his. It says plain Beten. The Beten. The Beten can mean either male or female. So he's going to say that that's going to come to tell you that happens to the man also. Let's see the whole drasha. The Gemara is a little bit more elaborate over here. He says because it says in the Brisa, "Las both Beten v'alpiyarei." Bit no v'yerechoshel boel. It's coming to teach you that also the boel, and this is Rebbe's talking. Rebbe Kiva had it from the verbs, but he has it from this pasuk. This is what teaches you that happens to the man also.
What's that first word?
Bit no.
Oh, it's 2 words. So together.
Bit no v'yerechoshel boel. Is that true? Like this is the lesson of the whenever Darshan first tells you the fact, the truth, then it goes back and says maybe I'm wrong. Does it mean him or does it mean her? Maybe the Pashup Shad that it's referring to her bet and her Yoreh. No, that can't be because it says it already. Later on, jump to the pasuk. It means the last one. Later on, when it says here, it doesn't talk about the first one for some reason, but the last one that it says when it's going to happen. If she's guilty, it's going to happen. But so it says about her. So how come it says over here earlier? It must be coming to tell you about him. That's how Rebbe knows it happens to the man also, because the pasuk has an extra pasuk about bloating. That's referring to the husband. The one the kasha.
It's not specifically about her.
Not about her, it's about him.
It doesn't say no.
Yeah, right. The Gemara is going to say that. So far, the Gemara doesn't say it. So far, the Gemara says because it's an extra pasuk. But the Gemara continues. It's going to come out like that. Here, the Gemara says "V'idach Rabbi Kiva." So now it's extra pasuk according to Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva has everything already since he dashed in the vavs. So he had everything. Yediyah, tzava, asiyah, double. So it says about him. So what do you do this pasuk for? The idach Rabbi Kiva. What does he do? Ahu the model of going the bet and beresha. So this Gemara said we had this Gemara earlier. And it says that when he curses, the pasuk before, the first pasuk, which we did, what does it talk about? That he says your yorech should be the curse. It says the yorech, and then it says the beten. And that the Gemara said, the Mishnah said earlier that he curses the yorech first, because the yorech that when they had relations, first is what's then first the thighs, and then they have relations, and that's the beten. So it says the curse first, but then once we tell her that it's not going to happen that way. The order that it's going to have an effect is going to be according to the digestive system. That first he drinks the water, first it comes into the beten, then it continues to the yoreh. So he tells you should know that the order is going to be first the beten and then the yoreh. That people shouldn't think that the water doesn't work. They see that he said it's going to be the yoreh and then the beten. He just said that order because he wants to curse the Yoreh first. But the order of how it's going to happen, the attack happens, the beten first and then the Yoreh. So it's important for her to tell her that.
Important for.
To the Kohen, to tell the woman that to announce that's the order that's going to happen. If she's guilty, it's going to happen the beten first, even though the Yoreh is cursed first, but the order is going to happen, Lamaisa, the physical way is going to happen that the beten is going to get blown up first and then the Yoreh. So then the question,
That's
that's
Rebbe
Rabbi
Akiva's answer.
right, so he doesn't,
Is Rebbe gonna have to answer?
let's see, V'ida, right,
Does this go back
right,
to
this is
Rebbe
either
now,
back to
V'ida?
Rebbe now, what's Rebbe going to do? That you needed to say, it's not extra, you needed to tell you the order. V'ida, him came, let's look it, no, my bet and the Yoreh, from another ball. This is what I've listened said, that besides the fact that it has to say it, but it didn't have to say bet, and it could have said bit no. Of course, it's leaving a little bit longer, but you see the whole parsha is talking about her. It says the whole time about her. So how come here it has this beten? How come it doesn't have the hey beten Yoreh? It should have said bit no like other times.
So it's him.
To tell you that it's also him, and that's Rebbe's drasha to say because it says it in a powerful way. It says neutral. This is beten. It doesn't say bit no. It's coming to tell you also his beten.
Mhm.
And Rabbi Kiva V'idach. Yeah, I'm sorry, it doesn't say that anymore. The question on Rebbe, so maybe it's only coming to tell you that it's him. How do you know the order? How do you know about the order is going to be this order?
Is that what?
No, I'm saying
The
that I'm
Kulei
saying
Hashi
right.
means what?
That the Ema Kulei Lach Yudas. Maybe the whole pasuk is just coming to tell you this, and it's not coming to tell you anything else. Yes, maybe it's just coming
In
to
other
tell
words, you
you.
wouldn't know the order. Is that?
No, I'm sorry, the other way. I got it wrong. It says Bitna Yerecha. How come it says Bet and Yoreh to tell you the bowl also? But maybe it's only coming to tell you the bowl, and it's not coming to tell you the order. Ema Kulei Lach Yudas. It's just coming to tell you the bowl. And came let Bitno Yerecha. Then it should have said the opposite. Instead of saying feminine, it should have said masculine. If it's just coming to teach you that it's for the bowl. My Bet and the Yoreh. Shvaminotati. That it wrote it in a way that everything should be able to learn that it's going to happen to both of them, and it's going to be the beten first and then the Yoreh.
So Rebbe can learn beten for two things. Is that?
Right. And Rabbi Kiva is not going to be impressed with that drasha. So it comes out so far, everybody agrees to all the facts. The right question is only how you darshan it. And it's relative to the rest of the shas, the darshan of vav or not. End of the sugya, that the boel is also going to be punished. And
forbidden to
forbidden. And the question is what the drasha is. That Rabbi Kiva darshans above, and Rabbi doesn't, the darshan is only extra word. The Gemara continues. I'm Rabbi Shua. Kacha Yodorish, that we need et cetera over there. And we're going now into the second halacha that is also to the boel. When she gets divorced, she's also to marry the boel. And the Mishnah learned it out the machlokes. Rabbi Kiva learned it out from the above, nitma vinitma, and Rabbi learned it out because it says 2 times the word. The word is extra, and the truth is that it really 3 words, and we can learn really 6 words. So just to look at the psukim now, we're focusing. Rebbe says the extra vav. This last v'nitma has a vav. Yidashins the vav to tell you that it's also to the boel. And Rabbi Kiva didn't hold it. I'm sorry. That was Rabbi Kiva. And Rebbe says that that's not enough. The vav is not the drasha, but it says 2 times. It says even more. It says 3 times. And now the Gemara is going to talk about how come it says 3 times. The truth is, it says
the word v'nitma.
Right. It says another 2 times. It says 6 times. But that's going to be soon. At this point, with Dashaning, how come it says these 3? And that's the Gemara. Don Rabbanan. Shalosh Pamim Namur B'Parsha Im Nitma, Nitma, V'Nitma. The last 3. How come? Lama. How come it says 3 times? And the answer is Echad the Baal, V'Echad the Baal, V'Echad the Truma. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. So now Mishnah we just spoke about 2. And the truth is not exactly Rabbi Kiva is Dashin above in our Mishnah. And here it says because of 3 words. The Gemara is going to talk about it. But so far the words say because it says 3 words, we dash in 3 halachas. One is that she's also to the husband. One is that she's also to the boel, to the suspect, even if it's only a suffix. And one is she's also to truma. That is zona, even a suffix zone is also to truma.
And that would be the one without the vav, probably, right? If you're talking about Rebbe Kiva. Or we don't have
The
to
Gemara
say
doesn't,
that.
at this point, the Gemara doesn't see any vavs. It says 3 psukim and 3 psukim, 3 words, and the Tanei learn out these 3 halachas. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. I'm Rabbi Shmuel. Now Rabbi Shmuel doesn't. There's a problem right away that Rabbi Kiva should have had a vav. He should have had 4 things. That the Gemara doesn't talk about. It just says 3. Rabbi Kiva, you are the one who darshans a vav. You should have had 4.
Well, I thought the 2 vavs would show that
There's not 2
she's gonna
vavs.
be
No, there's only
punished.
1 vav. There's only 1 vav. Nitma.
Oh, nitma.
It only has 1. By
So the
vav,
nitma means he's also going to be usher. The Rebbe Kiva, that means he's also usher.
that's what it says in the Mishnah. Nitma. V'nitma, to say him.
I see 3 v'nitma.
Yes, but you also see the vav. If you dash in vav, there's another drasha. So you have 4 drashas to make. 3 words and a vav. Rabbi Kiva, the Mishnah does says about nitma v'nitma, he says Baal Boel and he dashes the Vav. The Brisa is a little different. It says 3 words and he dashes 3 things, Baal, Boel, and Truma.
Oh.
So that's very surprising. Rabbi Kiva, what happened to the Vav? It was going to speak about it.
Okay.
And now Rabbi Shmuel talks to Rabbi Kiva and seems to argue with him, and we don't know, is not talking the same stuff, the same language. What continues? Amalo, Rabbi Shmuel, he has some complaint against Rabbi Kiva, Kal v'chomer. Uma gusha shemuteres l'truma asur l'kuna, zusha asur l'betruma, enodin shasur l'kuna. He brings in a new subject no one spoke about, as if he has a time on Rabbi Kiva and doesn't read. The Gemara is going to have a problem that it doesn't read. Rabbi Shmuel says you don't need a pasuk. It's a kal v'chomer. A gusha, is she allowed to eat truma? Yes, a grusha is allowed to eat truma. A bas
We're
Kohen, yes.
A Bas Kohen who married in Israel, she got divorced, she can go back to her father's house and get children.
Right.
Case.
No children.
Right,
And no children, she goes back to her father's house.
right,
And she
Right.
can eat truma.
right.
She's, yeah, okay.
But is she allowed to marry a Kohen? No, the pasuk
No.
is open. The Kohen cannot be a grusha. Now I have a couple of chomer. Zush, asur b'truma. Once you, if you're, that we know that the truma is asur, so you don't need another pasuk to say to a Kohen. And odin shasur l'kuna, couple chomer. If a grusha is asur to a Kohen, so surely this zona, she's Uzana, she's a suffix zona, she's surely also to. Now, it's very nice, but no one said anything different. Rabbi Kiva didn't say a word about Kuna. He just said Baal, Bol, and Truma. And then Rabbi Shmuel says, of course she's also to a Kohen. So Rabbi Kiva, I didn't say anything. What did I say? I said three psukim, Baal, Bol, and Truma. And you want to say Kohen also, very nice. Shmuel have kindness in Rabbi Kiva. The Brisa doesn't read. Brisa continue, but just to continue. The Brisa for our purposes is over. The Brisa is going to continue something else. But if we may, to turn the page, and you put all that in the parentheses, and 3 lines up in the bottom of the page. We're on Chav Chesem base, 3 lines up. And the Gemara now is analyzing the Rabbi Shmuel. What are you saying? Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Kiva Truma, Rabbi Kiva brought a brusha to say that she's also betruma. The suffix zone is also betruma. And he's telling him, have a drush Avrohom to say that she's also bekuna. That wasn't the subject. Rabbi Kiva didn't say anything about kuna. So what kind of time is that? Vesu, second of all, Rabbi Kiva, kuna manole. How does Rabbi Kiva not Kohen? He only has 3 psukim. He says nitma, v'nitma. Baal, Bol, and Truma. It doesn't say Kohen. Rabbi Shmuel says that. Rabbi Shmuel says if you know Truma, you know Kabul Chomer Kohen. Rabbi Kiva didn't say that. And that's like Rabbi Shmuel's kasha to Rabbi Kiva. You don't know Kohen. And the kasha in the Brisa doesn't make sense so much because Rabbi Kiva doesn't say anything about it. Rabbi Kiva does say 3 psukim. And Rabbi Shmuel said, I know for sure that Kohen is Asa. So Rabbi Kiva didn't talk about that. So what does Rabbi Shmuel want? And it's a nice point. Does Rabbi Kiva know that Kohen is up? If he doesn't know that a Kabul Chomer, so how does he know that a Kohen, suffix zona is also to a Kohen? Suffix zona is also to Truma. You might think only the person to say that she's Aser because Shah. Top line, that for sure. Let's say, how does it go? He shows another chalala says openly that a zone is usher. So if you know that a zone is usher, then a suffix zone is also usher. I know by myself. That's not true. If that's true, then you wouldn't need a pasuk for truma either. Truma namaloi to boikor. Rabbi Kiva says Baal, Boil, and truma. He has a pasuk to tell you that the suffix zone is also for truma. But now this also I know that a vadai zone is also for truma. Shari also have a suffix zone and kazona. A vadai zone we know is also for truma. The Gemara doesn't say how you know. Rashi brings a drasha. Rashi brings a pasuk kisiyol lezor, kisibol lezar la. Rashi brings a pasuk to say that a zone is to eat truma, but you see, you still need a pasuk to say that a suffix zone is also the truma. So that's not enough to know. So how do you know that? How do you know? Although on the third kasha that the Gemara doesn't ask, that Rabbi Yaakov asked it before, that you have a vav, so you have to have 4 psukim, only that and truma. And what happened to the 4th? What happened to the vav? But now the Gemara can answer all the kashas. Allah, the Rabbi Kiva are both pro-exceeded. He changed it a little bit. He said 3 psukim. And he said, Baal, Bol, and Truma, he really needs to say 4 psukim and 4 drushes. He doesn't say so. It's putting it into the Brisa. But here, he really needs to say that it says Nitma, V'nitma, and that equals 4 drushes. Chad Baal, Chad Bol, Chad Kuna, Chad Truma. He has 4 drushes. That answers all the questions. The Gedash is the verb, and he knows Kohen from the verb, from one of the psukim. And Rabbi Shmuel says, I don't need a pasuk for that because I have a Kal V'chomer. And that's what Rabbi Shmuel told him. Rabbi Shmuel plus a Kroik CD because Rabbi Shmuel does not hold of the verb. He was like, Rabbi, you don't dash in the verb. So only has 3 psukim. Have the Baal, have the Bol, have the Truma. How do you know Kohen? That's what he said. Kahuna Asher Kal V'chomer. Pasuk 4. Surely the Zona, who's also Truma, is surely also Truma. Is that nice? One happy customer. Anybody else happy?
You're saying Rabbi
I said now we go back to the Brisa.
Rabbi Akiva doesn't want to use the Kal.
Kiva doesn't. We don't know why, but he says I have a pasuk. And Rabbi Kiva, we don't know Rabbi Kiva's answer. Why does he know that a Kal V'chomer? It sounds like a nice Kal V'chomer. But the way Rabbi Kiva does say it is that 3 plus a verb, nitma. You have to change the Rabbanan. It's 3 times, but it also has 4. Nitma, Nitma, Echad Lebal, Echad Leboel, Echad Lekohen. And Rabbi
Kiva doesn't hold like Rabbi.
He holds the dash in the verb. Yes, he dash in the verb.
Oh, the verb is where
the verb, right. And then Rabbi Shmuel says, I don't have a verb and I don't need a verb. I don't have a verb. I only have 3. And therefore, I don't have Kohen.
Can you say out the Kal V'chomer?
Here it is. The Kal V'chomer. Rabbi Shmuel Kal V'chomer. A Grusha, a divorced woman, a divorcee, is Motati Truma.
Yeah.
But she's not a married Kohen.
Right.
And now the pasuk already that this suffix zona is Asati Truma. So she's surely also to marry a Kohen. If a Grusha is also to marry a Kohen, surely the suffix zona is also because she's even also Betruma. You see, she's more awesome. She's also Betruma, so surely she's also the Kohen. So I don't need a pasuk. How nice. The Gemara continues. Rabbi Shmuel this is a hard one. This is I don't need a pasuk for Kohen. Why? Because I have 3 psukim, Baal, Bol, and Truma. And if she's also Betruma, she surely also become Kohen. Who told you that the 3rd pasuk is? And you say which one is more chomer? That it's a bigger chiddush to be also Betruma than to be also Kohen. So if she's also Betruma, she surely also Kohen. That was this. So if you know that of the 2, Truma and Kohen, the more simple one to be also is going to be Kohen. So if you have extra pasuk, you have Baal, Boel, and another drasha to do. So which one is going to be also? The first one should be Kohen. You have 2 things you don't know. Well, the more chomer, right? And then if you have a 4th pasuk, then you can say Truma also. But so you only have 3 psukim, and you're going to say it goes on Truma. Then I have a Kal V'chomer on myself. That's not legal. That's not a legal move. Rabbi Shmuel, we might district called the Truma.
It should be Kohen first.
And then you're not going to have Truma, right? And you can't say Truma, which is a bigger chiddush, and say, oh, it's a Kal V'chomer Kohen. That's not a legal thing. Rabbi Shmuel, we might district called the Truma. And Kuna Asher Kal V'chomer. How could you use? It really means how could you? How could you use the pasuk for Truma? How do you know the pasuk is talking? Yeah, how do you know the pasuk is talking about Truma? And then Kohen, you can do a couple chomer. The pasuk is just telling you this one that she's also the same way that it's so maybe Truma is not going to miss the same. Grusha is also to Kohen, but she's not the Truma. You have pasuk. So she's also to Kohen. She's also to Kohen. Don't know that she's also to Truma. So Shmuel has to explain how he knows that the extra pasuk is coming to tell you Truma and not a Kohen. We have 3 psukim. Nitma. All of them tell you Isurim for this woman. So 2 of them we know, Baal and the Boel. And over there, the Baal and the Boel is relevant even in the husband's lifetime. The Baal, of course, when he's alive, he's not allowed to stay with his wife. And the Boel also, even in the husband's lifetime, he's that she's also then means if he divorces her, the first husband divorces her, so she's also to marry the Boel. That's even in his lifetime. It's not only relevant after he dies, it's relevant even in his life. So the 3rd drasha, that's an open drasha now. What are we going to dash with this drasha? We have a choice, either Kohen or Truma. Which one is going to be relevant in the husband's lifetime? To be also to a Kohen or to be also in Truma? To be also to a Kohen, right. This suffix zona will come. The suffix zona will come to Aser in something. She's already also to the Baal to the Boel, which are Yisur that apply even in the husband's lifetime. And now there's a new drush we have to dash on that for something. And the 2 choices are Aser and Truma, Aser to marry a Kohen. The Aser to marry a for sure it's a going, because what's gonna happen?
She's for sure.
Because if the husband is gonna divorce her,
Then
then she can't marry the Kohen because she's divorced. She doesn't have to have this as a owner because of that. She's also because she's a grusha. But the issue of truma is relevant even in his lifetime. She's also team truma, even if the husband's alive. So that's going to be more similar to the Baal and the Boel. We have three drushes to do: Baal, Boel, plus. So since the Baal and the Boel is relevant even in the lifetime of the husband, so it's mistaber that the third drush is also going to say something which has immediate effect, that she's also a truma. But if you're going to say it's only relevant to say that she's also a Kohen, that's only going to be if the husband dies and doesn't divorce her, then it's going to be relevant that she's also a Kohen. The perspective of the other two to tell you something which is immediately by ramifications. So probably also has immediate ramifications. That's how I know that's true. It's probably similar to the other drushes of the husband and the boel. Not mechayim that it has immediate effects. Even when is alive. Talk about the drusha to say that she's also a Kohen because it doesn't have ramifications. Only if she's anyway also wasn't married, she surely can't marry a Kohen. And if he divorces her, she also can marry a Kohen. So it only has ramifications if he dies. It's not similar. So probably it's talking about truma, and then I can do a kal v'chomer.
You can do it. So you can learn three things, and a kal v'chomer takes it.
Right. With Rabbi Akiva, what does Rabbi Akiva do? To me, the Baal Boel, Leslie, he doesn't hold it as drusha that has to. He would learn the third is going to say Baal and
Kahuna and
Kahuna, and he has to have,
no kal
and he has to have another pasuk above to tell you the truma also. The Nami Islay, and he does hold that good svara. It's not a kasha that has to have an extra pasuk. Sometimes we find that the pasuk will tell you another drasha, even if you could have figured out with a kal v'chomer. That's what it calls milti dashim kal v'chomer Torah for kasam lakor. The Torah troubles itself to say it openly or with the drasha openly, even though you could have figured it out by yourself with a kal v'chomer. That doesn't bother us. Consider the extra drasha you could have figured it yourself. Sometimes the Torah tells you even though you could have figured it out by yourself. That's it. Beautiful. Yes, everything's good. So everybody agrees to everything.
The tircha means what?
The troubles itself. The Torah troubles itself. Something get out by kal v'chomer anyway. Nilsa Dashi kal v'chomer is still because it's not a problem. The Torah writes something. And he has the pasuk. Why didn't you could have figured out by yourself? The Torah sometimes does, even though you could have figured out by yourself. And we still have to go back. Skip the end of the brisa. So into the psukim we had these drushes. Nitma. We said, oh, Buma, Kohen. Yeah, and now go back to the beginning. It says for some reason the Gemara is not going to talk about the first one. Let's talk about the second. And what does the pasuk say? That the husband is suspicious of he doesn't know if she was tummy or if she was mizana or not. Of jealousy, which is a valid jealousy, and he wants his wife, and she was mizana, or he gets a spirit of jealousy and he wants his wife and she was not mizana. Now, what does that mean? The words are a little bit difficult, which he was going to point out. Was she mizana? Was she not mizana? So the truth, the pashut pshat is, and he was going to say this pashut pshat, that he doesn't know. He's worried. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know if she was mizana. He doesn't know if she was not. Therefore, he warns her. Yeah, that's pashut pshat, and that's what the Gemara is going to say. And that's what here's the Gemara, because if you read it literally, it says that he warns her, and she was really mizana, or he warns her and she really was not mizana, as if it's a fact. But it's a known makes sense. So that's what it's saying. Gemara, which has nothing to do about it. It's
One of the things is true.
One of the two, right? But that's what it's saying. But like this is the fact. This is the truth. And this is the known truth. And this is the known truth. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It has to be that the unknown is both of them are unknown.
Yeah.
Why does it say these two psukim, which we just go to the screen?
Where we up to now?
Why does it say these two psukim? Because you can't read it the way it says it. In Nitma, Lama Shosa. In Lo Nitma, Lama Mashka. If we know the fact is that she was Mazana, so there's no reason to drink. Because it's not going to help us. It's not. she's also she was Muzana if it's a known fact. And in Molit, if he knows for sure she was not Muzana, so then why is he giving her a drink? The whole point is to verify if she was Muzana or not. That means to say the Pashup Shad that he doesn't know. He doesn't know if she's Muzana or not. But now the rest of it, I was just going to tell you that one from here. What do you see from here? That the suffix zone is her husband. She's not allowed to be with her husband because we don't know if she was Muzana. So suffix mizus is also. And here the Gemara is going out this famous din that suffix tumah b'shus yachid is tumah. Suffix b'shus yachid is tumah. If somebody doesn't know if they became tumah, a real tumah, not as tumah, but a tumah. There's a sheriff there house, and he passed by and he touched it or not, so he's tumah. If it's b'shus yachid. If that suffix happened, suffix is to another Allah the Gemara is going to say, another detail, that even suffix is only if the person who was involved is somebody who has seichel. He could know if he became tamei, he would know. That's called yesh modasto, that he's smart enough to be able to be interrogated. Or not, but source of Allah is going to be from a sotah that a suffix zone is also. Here it goes. You cannot to done the sheretz. From here you can learn now to a sheretz. A sheretz is a dead sheretz, one of the shmona shrotzim. If you have a suffix, if you became tamei, you're tamei. Masotah shablo Basho you can bonus kirotzon. Suffix kivadai sheretz. Joseph Basho you can make the bonus kirotzon. And then sheyasabo suffix kivadai, which is more chomer. Not in the stringency of being chayv mitzvah or something, but which has more chumras. The question about becoming tamei teretz, or the question if a woman was mizana. So the Gemara puts on the scale that you see that the sheretz is more chomer, because if someone came in contact with the sheretz without by illness, someone threw it on him, does it become tamei? Yes, it became tamei. It doesn't make difference how we had intention, no intention. There wasn't but you became tamei, your sheretz touched you. But there's no of a woman that she becomes upset to her husband is only if it was willingly. But if she was honest, someone raped her, or Eshes Yisrael, not a Kohen, so she's mutter. So you see that we're machmer more in chances of becoming tamei sheretz than a woman being mizana. It says interesting thing over here. It says a shogig, so that a woman, if she be a shogig, also she would not be upset to her husband. Not only a honest, if she was raped, also a shogig.
Meaning,
what's a shogig?
no, she had got Nisuin from her first.
She didn't know she was married.
I don't know.
She thought it was her husband.
She thought it was her husband. She thought it was her husband. And the other case, in a minute, I'll say another case.
It could be about today's world, a woman doesn't think something wrong.
So that's that. I like to talk about that. If you can hold on to that a second, it's not called the shogeg. She thinks, what's the problem?
What's the problem?
So let's see that in a minute. We'll see that. So first it talks about which is more chomer, the chance of having contact with a sheretz or the chance of znus. So you see that a sheretz is more chomer, because by a sotah, a shogeg, she doesn't become maseh to her husband. A honest doesn't become maseh to her husband. But by over there still you say that a suffix is aseh. Suffix kivadai. So a sheretz is more chomer, because over there if he came in contact with all the honest, it does become tamei. So surely a suffix is also going to be a suffix is also tamei. So a suffix tumah, suffix sheretz is tamei. Ahmed Beis. It's a question. Is what we don't know. With the sheretz, someone is a dead mouse. He passed by. He doesn't know if he touched it or not. So suffix tumah is tamei.
Right, so there's something about the sotah.
If you see, we're learning out from sotah. Suffix zona, suffix sotah is also to her husband. So kal v'chomer that a suffix tamei sheretz is tamei. The Gemara says, but it's limited. But from the place that you learned out from, this source you learned out from sotah, so we're going to learn out that suffix sheretz is tamei only if it's similar to the case of sotah. Ma sotah was just a yachid. The case of the sotah that suffix sotah. Only if there's a case where Rishus Yachid means that she's in seclusion. There's no case of a sotah being a suffix sotah in Rishus Rabin. You see if she's Muzana. It's only because she was in seclusion. That's called the Rishus Yachid. Of Sheretz, Rishus Yachid. The only we're going to say that a suffix Sheretz is tamei only Rishus Yachid. That's called suffix tumah Rishus Yachid. But if the suffix would have happened in Rishus Rabin, someone's passing by in the street and there's a dead mouth there, and he wasn't sure if he touched it, or there's going to be Torah, because the only source to learn out that suffix tumah Rishus is only when it's Rishus Yachid. And that's one point. That's the thing to learn out. And the second thing is that even Rishus Yachid is only by similar to a sotah as a person. She's a human being, and they have seichel. And that's to be that the suffix tumah Rishus Yachid is only when you have an intelligent being. Also to double sheish b'das lishoel, that the sotah is somebody that has knowledge, has intellect, that he could be asked, lishoel, that he could be asked. She could ask, were you Mazana? She's not going to say the truth, but she has seichel. After it's double sheish b'das lishoel. If it's somebody that has seichel, if I'm not wrong, this is where halacha comes from. Double sheish b'das lishoel, b'shus yachas leik tamei. You have to have two conditions in order to become a suffix. That is b'shus yachas, and also if they b'das lishoel, b'shus even if he has seichel, but that's the show. If he doesn't have seichel, a child to what happened, and nobody's there, you don't know if it had contact. A loaf of bread fell from the loaf, fell off, and it might have touched the dead mouse on the maybe it didn't. So then it's store. It's only tumah. It's just a yachid with a dasli show. So the question says, what's called the shogeg? A woman who's muzana b'shogeg, she's mutter to her husband. A woman is muzana b'onis, that someone raped her, so she's mutter to her husband. How about if it's a shogeg? What's a shogeg? So Rashi says that she didn't know, she thought it was her husband. She didn't know she was married.
Right.
What if she knew she's married and she knew that she's being muzana, but she thought it's so bad? She didn't know that it's also. She thought that no one told her that it's also.
That's pretty shvach.
Pretty shvach. But let's say that's such a case. So there's a remote. Last remote. He brings down on my rip this that the pasuk says the pasuk by Sotah says that the problem she betrayed her husband. Where's the pasuk? Here it is. Betrayed him. Who's him? Husband. So he says that the point is not after betraying Hashem, it's betraying her. So even if she thought that it's mutter, that it's a betrayal of her husband. So he's a shogeg is also she becomes also. That's like a very, very important question already. That the husband has a problem with it either. Maybe that's going to be a question. Maybe she doesn't know that the Torah says it's also.
I didn't even think about such a question.
I think so.
And her husband lets her.
Yeah, that's
She didn't
mom.
know that,
So that's mom. That's not control of the husband. But that's the Marik. Marik says that even if she didn't know it's also, she showed husband. So that's included in all of all, and that's not a shogeg, and she is also to her husband.
Very fast.
Nowadays it's sad because people are nuts. People think there's not a
that Hashem said it's also. But
Yeah.
I don't let her cheat on your husband.
They don't call it cheating. Oh, they call it cheating.
They call it cheating on your husband.
Yeah.
Not because
Why?
it's also because.
Why? Yeah. No, the Marik's case is shaykh nowadays. Yeah, they don't know, but they also call husband, right? That's the case of Marik. Now they're asking how about
the husband cheats on the wife.
Yeah, but both know that it's called cheating. That's what Rick says, that if it's called betrayal of the spouse, that's the asa. But now the question is, well, if they don't know that, they don't even know that. They don't know what a marriage is. They don't even know that it's called a betrayal. And he says it's okay, fine. Is that also? They didn't know. They didn't know that it's also. I'm going to say that they'll let us stay together still. That might be a modern question.
I heard of an interesting thought from the Prime Host said in the name of the rebellion.